Hello, everyone. I'm Angelina Mojica here with your Good Morning Minute. And today I have Angie Dodge, who is going to talk about the topic creating a life you desire. Now, when we talk about creating a life that you desire, you deserve, it's about empowerment. It's about agency, self determination, and overcoming barriers that get in your way as you're striving towards success. There's going to be a story of inspiration and motivation. So I'm excited to introduce Angie. And Angie, go ahead and share with our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I started my own business pre-COVID back in January of 2020. And it was just meant to be a side gig. I've had 20 years of C-suite level executive administrative experience, and I always had the reputation, if you want something done, give it to Angie. So I took that reputation with that experience and brought it to the virtual world. And now my team and I, we offer executive level virtual administrative services. So we can help manage that whole back office for you so that as a business owner, you can do what matters for you, whether it's spending more time with your family or growing your business.
Oh, I love that. And as an entrepreneur, I mean, you're always working. So if you don't have somebody in your
Mhm.
team circle, you're definitely having to do that yourself. So I can totally understand and see what a blessing that is to offer as a service.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit, Angie. What were the key steps that you took as you
Mhm.
started creating this life that you knew you deserved?
It's very interesting because I've always, my mom was an entrepreneur. She owned her own business. She was she was a florist for forever. Um, and I was always close to my grandma. My grandmother had a strong personality. So I think in some ways, as a being a woman goes, I feel like I've always had high expectations for myself. However, when you're trained to live that Monday, we're all kind of told you get out of high school, you graduate, you go to college, and then you get a 9 to 5 job, and then that's what you do.
Mhm.
And being an entrepreneur, I struggled a little bit with that whole the imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
And I think for me, I think number one, being a girl's girl and having strong women that I see doing this every day, I connect with them, I network with them. I talk to my friends about what I'm doing. And then sometimes I just do what I tell everybody, you fake it till you make it. And we are all out here doing that. But I also think it's just so inherently important to realize how important it is for women to just be out there and grabbing these things, what's available to us and supporting one another and being each other's cheerleader.
And I love that you already are coming out of the gate and you're talking about I had a strong role model in the women that raised me, but also too, they were your support network as
Mhm.
well. So help us as listeners understand some of the importance of daily habits, like the
Mhm.
things that move you gradually to that big picture goal. How important is it to put those things in place?
So I have learned the hard way that it's incredibly important. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty transparent about how I run my business and how I live my life.
Mhm.
And for a while there, it was nothing for me just to roll out of bed, come into the office and start working. But recently I've been to a conference and it was talked about how you start your day is how you end your day. How you start your week is how you end your week.
Mhm.
And what I also realized, it's not just about me, it's also about my team I have a team of women who are all busy in and of themselves. And so I feel like I have to be that role model. So I have started to have more intentionality around how I start my day. So I do a little bit of meditation. I write down my to-do list and I stick to that pretty good. I'm really good at time blocking. So there's a lot of tools that I utilize that I share with my clients that I put into practice as well.
Mhm.
And I think if it wasn't for those things, I would just be going through the motions. You
Mhm.
really have to set yourself up for success. And if you're not good at it, that's okay. There are people out there who are good at it that can help you.
Mm, mm. And it's always, I just hear it's about connecting and finding what's going to work for you, what's going to support you. I love that. So, how important are small term goals versus long term goals when you're looking at shooting for the stars?
Sure. Well, I think you have to have both. short-term goals help you, like, I have my goals of what I want to get done in a day, but then I also know what I want to get done in the week. And all of these small goals all add up, impact the big goals.
Hmm.
So, you don't have this goal if you want to lose weight, you're going to lose 100 pounds. No, you need to start figuring out how you're going to lose a little bit each day. And then incrementally, all of those goals start to add up and you start to
Hmm.
see these little pieces of movement impact the big movement. You just can't jump right in and go the big, that I've learned it's not possible. You,
I
you have to
mean,
have those, you have to have those small goals. And again, I think about this with my team because this can be overwhelming when you're managing busy executives' calendars and you're managing people's lives. Um, you really have to pay attention to those details, and all those little details add up to bigger things. So you always have to be mindful of those small goals.
oh, and I love it because you're talking stepping stones. You're like, hey, I need to go step one, step two. I don't know, what is that Stairmaster on the gym? Like you can't just go one big huge step because
Exactly.
definitely have to work up your momentum to that. All right, so help me understand because you come from a foundation of strong women that are already paving the way for you, right? So you know that as a woman anything is possible, but not very many of our listeners may feel that exact same way. How did you maybe in it, I don't know if you did ever run into these situations, but how did you overcome societal or maybe even personal barriers towards your empowerment?
So it's interesting. The first 2 years of me opening my business, I was blessed to get a lot of referrals. I did not have to leave my desk to grow my business. Then the third year, it went dry. And I realized then I can't do this by myself. It's not any fun, and you have to get out there. So I shopped around for a couple different types of networking groups, and I found my people. I found my tribe. I found the people that I connect with on a faith-based level. That's very important to me. I also have connected with women who are doing the same types of, there's power in numbers, and there's also, you're not alone. The struggle is real when you're sitting by yourself in an office all day every day just trying to grow your business, and it's heartbreaking, it's exciting. You want to share that with people who will really celebrate you, but at
Mhm.
the same time you want to celebrate them as well, and there's so much to learn from everyone, and that's where you really start to have the fun. It becomes you start to build these relationships, and I don't know. That's where I guess my business became something bigger than just
Mhm.
a way to pay the bills, is when I started to connect with these women and just kind of see how we're all in this crazy entrepreneurial world together.
All right. And so in that third year where you're like, you kind of hit a plateau, it was a dry spell for you. What were some of those challenges?
Oh goodness, just getting out of the office,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
having to learn how to talk about my business in a way that didn't, what I feel, bore people. For me, I can talk about it I could talk about it all day because it's my baby, it's my passion, it's everything.
Hmm.
But sharing it with people in a way that is interesting, and a way, how can it help them? And how can it's not even about getting business from them, but who can they connect with? I realize being a connector is really important. And not just for myself, but for the women that I also, you know, I'm in these networking groups with, and I just think the more you give,
Hmm.
the more you get back in return. It's crazy what comes back to you when you find yourself in a place where you can offer help and support and connections.
Okay. Did you ever run into challenges like, um, I know that you said networking was in getting out of your office. So did you ever run into challenges as far as like building an identity for yourself in regards to your business? Like, who is Angie? Why is this important? Why do we need to have it? Um, and just building that reputation of quality work. I provide quality services, uh, compared to whatever competitors you have.
Sure. So one of the, I don't consider myself to be when I think about myself, I don't think about myself as an executive or a business owner or all these things. I just have taken what I have always done and have done well and bring it to this virtual place. And so that means what you see is what you get. I have tried to change who I am to maybe not be so casual at times, not to be so incredibly transparent that I'm probably sharing things with people that they're like, whoa, but that's who I am.
Uh-huh.
I connect with people. I'm very relational. And so I want to find out what is your it that we can take care of. And so I ask a lot of questions. I get deep with people. I like to laugh a lot and joke because it's too hard. It really is hard. But I think that just being yourself and figuring out what that looks like and being okay with that. And also
Mm.
realizing it's not for everybody. I'm not for everyone. And I'm okay with that. There's enough work to go around that I can refer them to another business that does what I do.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I
that
love
doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I love that you said, I connect and I know when I'm not the right person for that right
Mhm.
person, but I know um who to refer them to. I think that is
Absolutely.
a big part of us being just genuine in the
Yeah.
services. And that's what I hear is like you're authentic, you're genuine, you what you see is what you get. And I think that also when people are working with someone like that, not only operating in their passion, but working with someone that is truly authentic and genuine in the service and feedback that they're providing, it disarms a lot of fear, especially for those that are kind of stepping out on their own and trying to
Right.
build something for themselves. To have a person like yourself come in and say, you know what, let me help you, and
Yeah.
truly mean that. I get that. That's awesome. And from just the interactions with you, Angie, I feel like you have a strong self-belief as far as it comes to your entrepreneurship and just your ability to create the things that you're creating in the world right now. How would you kind of explain the importance of confidence as you are stepping out a woman, creating a business, you're trying to build this life that you want? How important is confidence?
I mean, I really it's a game changer, and again I go back to the whole, you do. Sometimes some days are better than others, but I will tell you, my inspiration is my 14-year-old niece.
Mm,
First of all, she is way cooler than I will ever be in my entire life. But I see these young girls and I think, how hard it is and just how important it is to be comfortable in your skin, to do things right. If you say you're going to do it, you do it. And just instilling these values that have, my mom and my grandmother instilled in me. But when you come across those times where you're just unsure, you just push through it. You fake it. You just put that smile on your face and you do the best that you can. And my thing is that I think that everybody has something to offer, that everybody has a purpose. It isn't always easy to find that purpose, so you just try different things and just know you can't be perfect every day. You might have days of perfection. And be okay with that, but find your tribe. Find those women that will celebrate you when you're at your lowest and they will help lift you up because that's really going to help build your confidence. You
mm,
know, have conversations with people about what you're doing. Be open to the feedback. That's stay humble. These are all things that have always been a part of who I am and I
mhm,
share with my team, and I just think that these are all things that just kind of help you out along the way. And slowly but surely, you build your confidence, you build your expertise, you're able to speak about things in a way that you've never been able to do it before. And it takes practice.
mhm.
And you just have to give yourself a good old pat on the back sometimes and say, I did a great job.
I
And that's
love that.
okay. It's
Yeah.
it's okay to celebrate yourself.
Oh, I agree. And I don't think many of us stop and just go, "Hey,
No.
look what I did." And I can speak for myself very much for many years. I would just operate as a checklist, like, okay, I did this,
Hmm.
got my master's, got this done, but not taking the time to truly stay in the moment of
Yeah,
celebrating and going, this was a huge accomplishment because it's not very many people go on to pursue graduate school or anything like that
sure.
and build businesses or whatever their success is, and to really truly appreciate that because lots of years went into the development of those things. And like I heard you say, finding your purpose. I
Mhm.
agree. I think everybody does have a purpose, and it's through our desire to seek and find. We discover our purpose, we fall into it, and it's through those things of decision making, risk taking, um, being okay with it not working out the first time, being okay with, okay, I made a mistake. Let me get back up. Let me change some things around so that I can try again. And this time it be successful and get to where I want to go. I think all of that, I mean, it builds that confidence. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's all about the experiences that you go through that contribute to that self-belief and confidence building. Um, so can you provide, Angie, an example of successfully empowering yourself and transforming your life? So kind of just what was it like before? And then what was it like now? And what was the mind shift in it all?
Goodness. Before I was in the corporate world, I was in the grind, just like everybody else. And what I feel the shift for me has been is now having a team and developing them and helping me specifically having a relationship with these women that I'm developing them. I'm helping them
Yeah.
figure out what their purpose is because they're still, they're young. Maybe, especially young moms. Young moms love this type of job because they can work from home. There's flexibility.
Hmm.
So, trying to figure out what their strengths are, helping fill the gaps, also building them up as well, and giving them their opportunity. That to me has been the biggest joy in owning my own business,
Hmm.
but also the relationship I have with my clients. Because prior, again, in the corporate world, I just felt like I was just an assistant. I was just an assistant. I
Hmm.
did not ever really feel the impact that I had. But now, when I look at how we are helping entrepreneurs live out their dream because we're able to take away the minutia that's on their desk that's keeping them from being successful.
Hmm.
And I see our team turning things around for small clients and giving busy parents some freedom to spend more time with their kids because we did research on summer camps for them. That means something to me now. I
Hmm.
can see how this impacts our clients, and that feels really good.
Hmm. And what I think I hear you sharing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I can't be wrong sometimes. Um, but what I'm hearing is now that you're operating in your passion, you're no longer having to serve under another company and their vision and their goals. This is your vision. This is your goals. And through it, what I hear you saying is I am mentoring women into their dreams. I'm helping them understand that they too can create something for themselves. And I think that is one of your biggest strengths that I see is, of course, because you talk about it, networking, finding your circle of support, having that mindset of, girl, I can go out there and I can make it happen for myself. And being and leading the example, being the example, leading the way for these women to come and go, okay, yeah, Angie, I want to be there too. And you support that. And I think that's awesome. Um, what resources, because you do talk about a network, you do talk
Yes.
about your support circle. So, what resources or support systems would you say are vital for women that are aiming to take control of their destiny?
So I think it's different for each person. I think you have to figure out what type of group you want to be a part of. So for me, keeping my faith strong in my business was very important to me. So I found a Christian-based women's networking group. That's one group. The other is it's a larger it's called eWomen Network. It's actually an international based networking group.
Mhm.
And what I found, I just recently went to the conference for the very first time and it really reignited me. So I'm even like 10 times more excited about the future of my business. But it took me a little while to figure out the best group for me and the types of women that I wanted to be around. I know I wanted to be more on the higher level of entrepreneurship if that there's just so many different things or different businesses that people have, so finding the group that works for you and then just going and trying it out. I think I went to 3 or 4 different groups before I found my people. And just is, not being afraid to put yourself out there and meet people.
Mm,
And there you will and even as much as I sound so secure and confident now, I wasn't for a while. I was nervous to go out there and put myself out there and say, I'm a business owner now, and
mhm,
this is what we do. But now I can easily scream it out to everybody, and I'll start talking to a stranger in the grocery store about it. It takes practice. You
mm,
have to practice and put yourself out there and realize that everybody's in the same boat with you. You're all in it together. So you just go out there and find people that you can support, and you will be supported back.
mm. I love that. And I love that you mentioned practice because growing up, you've always heard the term practice makes perfect. But the way I view practice, it makes it permanent. The more and more you go out there, the easier and easier it becomes, almost to where it's natural. Having
Yes.
conversations about who you are, about your business, and then it totally fades away the imposter syndrome. You no longer feel like you're behind this mask of,
Mhm.
this is my business, and what? No, you're stepping out and you're going, this is my business. This is who I
It
am.
is.
And this
Yeah.
is why you need it. This is why you
Well, and the
need it.
crazy thing is there are days where I don't know. I still don't know. But
Mm,
here's the thing. I won't tell anybody that. I will fake, like I said, I will fake it till I make it. You know why? Because I have Google, YouTube, and I have other resources. I put smarter people around me.
mm,
I've taken that bit of advice.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
I'm not afraid to reach out and ask questions if I don't know the answer. And so, it's everything, as one of my mentors says, it's figure outable. We figure it out. And that's what we're doing. We just figure it out. You take it one day at a time and you just start working it.
And I love that you mention the fact that you don't have all the answers, but
Mhm.
you empower yourself by
Yeah,
having a team that may have strengths that complement your areas that you are developing. I never say areas of weakness
I
because
like
we're
opportunity.
always developing. Um, I'm
Right,
not because I'm not a weak person. Like I don't speak that into my life, but
right.
and I agree with that because I don't want to be the expert in everything. That is exhausting. Like let me
Not
put together
possible.
let me put together a team of women that know certain things that I may not know. And that is part of my team. And those are people that are helping contribute. And so that just makes us that much more powerful when
Yes.
we are launching services and things like that. So I love that you mentioned that. Um, okay, Angie, what do you got coming up? I mean, what things can we look forward to from you?
Well, we're currently working, and this is funny. We're hitting with the 5-year anniversary in January. We're working towards a rebrand. And funny enough, I thought one thing, the name of our company was going to work out, and we're now getting feedback that it's not a great name for us. So it's one of these things, again, you're just learning as you go.
Mhm,
And so we're working on a rebrand that we will kick off in January. Um, from going to this conference, I've narrowed down my three big priorities for this year and next year. I'm super excited. And one of those is hopefully going to be a nonprofit to try to help women who want to do this, who inherently have this skill set, but they've never had the opportunity. They don't have access to a laptop,
mhm.
and they just need some development. And they need to stay home because they have children. And that's what we want to provide. So there's a lot going on. So I'm super excited. Um, we keep developing assistance that we're putting together a certification program. So we have a lot. We have a lot. I'm really excited about what the rest of this year and next year is going to bring.
Oh, it sounds like there's a lot of good things in the works, and I can't wait to hear
Yeah.
about them for
Yes.
sure.
Thank you.
All right, Angie, let's say someone wants to get in contact with you outside of this podcast. How can they do that?
Yes, come to our website. It's www.angiegetitdone.com. And there is a link there to connect with me. There's a Calendly link as well as a form that you can fill out. And whether it's you're interested in working with us, you want to talk about being a certified virtual assistant, or you need our services, I'd love to talk to you about any of those things. Or you just need somebody to talk to because you're a woman who's starting a business and it's scary. I would love to have that conversation.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much. All right, everyone. This is Angie Dodge. She's got a lot coming up. I can't wait to see it. Again, thank you for listening. Like always, I am Angelina Mojica, your life coach, sending you much love, much peace, many blessings.
Bye. Thank you.